Kia ora koutou and welcome. It's wonderful to have you with us this evening for our Pentecost resource sharing evening, focusing on children's ministry. You're listening here to a reproduction of the presentation I gave to this evening. Just due to privacy instructions, we need to recreate this presentation rather than having it recorded straight from our live Zoom session. Whether you're here with a whole folder of ideas or just a spark of one, or you're hoping to take some inspiration from this presentation, we're glad you're here. The aim of this is to be a relaxed and supportive space to help equip each of those who are doing children's ministry in our diocese in just a small way to be able to prepare to tell the story of Pentecost to the next generation through crafts, songs, stories, play and prayer. Just like the Pentecost story itself, where the Spirit moved among a diverse group and gave them what they needed, we believe that sometimes sharing with one another can be that movement. We're going to start our evening today with a short reflection. There'll be moments of pause where you're welcome to pause this video, reflect, share maybe if you're in a group or with others, and then carry on watching. Pentecost is one of those stories that feels big. It's got rushing winds, tongues of fire, people speaking languages that they didn't know 5 minutes earlier. It's a very dramatic story with a lot of power in it. But it's also deeply personal. In Acts 2:3 it says, "Divided tongues as of fire appeared among them, and tongues rested on each of them. Each one of them received the Spirit," not just the confident ones, not just those in charge or the leaders, potentially not just adults, depending on who was in the room. It was everybody who was present received the Holy Spirit. And that's something we can pass on to our children. The Holy Spirit is for you. It is for everybody. So the first reflection that I'm inviting you to pause and think about is, how would you describe the Holy Spirit if you were asked? Feel free to pause the video now. Sometimes that's not an easy question to answer. The Holy Spirit isn't as concrete as Jesus, a man who walked among us, God made flesh, or as this creator who we can touch the things that God created, the earth, the trees, the animals. The Holy Spirit is a lot more ethereal, a lot more out there. My next question for you, just reflecting on how you would describe the Holy Spirit, I wonder, how do you think kids today would describe the Holy Spirit if we asked them? Again, feel free to pause the video and start again in a moment. Sometimes children can come out with the most profound and meaningful descriptions. I've heard of a child that described the Holy Spirit as God's warm breath that helps you to do brave things. A powerful statement coming from someone so young. We can learn from even the youngest. So after our short time of reflection together, I thought we'll get into a few resources. So the first resource is a short video clip. These are 3 video clip recommendations that you might want to use. These are good to be used during Sunday school, embedded in an all-age service, or you could email them to families before or afterwards, connecting with children through the medium of film animation. The video on the top left of your screen is the Bible Heroes of Faith. It's a longer video, about 7 minutes long, so probably better for your older children, those with a wee bit more attention. And it is a bright, fun, modern animated video describing the events that happened during Pentecost. The video on the right hand side, the top right, is from the Saddleback Kids. If you haven't watched any of their videos on YouTube, I recommend for you to go and watch them. They're brilliant. So this one is again a bright, shorter, so only 3-minute animated video explaining the events of Acts 2 in a child-friendly language. Again, using film techniques that children like to watch. But do check out all their other videos. The video in the bottom with the red sort of square is a recording of a godly play Pentecost story. So this one's different. It's calmer, more reflective, and its storytelling approach uses a lot of symbols and silence as part of it. Now, there are a few different versions of this online, so do check out what one you might prefer, but this works with kids who like that wee bit more silence, reflective time. I would say and recommend before you show or send any videos out, make sure you watch them first. Check that they're appropriate for your context and that they fit with the message that you're trying to tell. Now, we were going to watch a video as part of my presentation to the group. However, due to copyright and this video potentially going up on different platforms, it's best we skip that to make sure we don't have any issues. But we were going to watch the Saddleback Kids video, so do go watch it yourself. Now we come to some resource sharing ideas that I put together. These are only 5 resources. There's a huge amount more. Do check out our article in the newsletter that will help flesh out some of the ideas that not only myself but others at the gathering had. So we have on the top left hand side, we have a really simple craft activity using red, orange and yellow flames from card or tissue paper and attaching them to a headband, symbolizing the flames, the tongue of flames landing in each of our children. And one of our children's leaders said that she had done this with children, toddlers, all the way up to teenagers, and they all loved it and they all grasped the idea of Pentecost from it. The bottom right hand one is about using your breath as a symbol of the Holy Spirit. So using straws and the light pom-poms, kids can blow the Spirit across the table, showing that something invisible, like our breath, can have such a profound effect on the world. I've seen this done in a church where they didn't use straws, but they built wee cars and balloons and blew up the balloons and then let them race across their hall, again showing the power that an invisible spirit, the Holy Spirit, can have in the world. The top right hand corner is for your more crafty, potentially, young people. So using stories or Play-Doh, you can make symbols of the Holy Spirit. You can use doves, fire, wind, and these allow the children to take them home with them. They can put them up in their bedroom, put them in their school bags, something as a physical reminder of the Holy Spirit. We have in the bottom left corner just a reminder of the importance of song and movement. Our groups that do mainly music or musical munchkins around, they use this already, but this is really using simple songs and actions to help teach our children about the Holy Spirit and to get them moving their whole body in praise and worship. The centre photo is from the cathedral in Wellington, the Anglican Cathedral, and it's an opportunity, Pentecost is, for us to involve our children in the decorations of our church. I know of a parish who is having a Saturday afternoon tea with children, family activities, but are also getting them to help decorate their church in preparation for the next day, for Sunday, to celebrate Pentecost. So there's many ways you can do that. You can use lots of symbols, lots of crafts, lots of cut out pieces of paper, or you can use ribbons, fabrics, everything. Your imagination is the limit. So these are just a few ideas that I'd quickly put together. We have a lot more that was collected from our resource gathering event that are part of the article, the newsletter that's come out. The next thing that's important is that we can help children pray with the Spirit. One thing that we often hear is Pentecost feels too big or too abstract for kids. But actually, children often connect really naturally with the idea of the Spirit. They don't have those adult preconceived ideas in their minds. So a simple prayer activity could be inviting the children to hold out their hands, to sit comfortably. Remember, we never ask adults to sit uncomfortably to pray, so we need to have our children comfortable to pray. And you could ask them to say a simple prayer, something along the lines of, "Come, Holy Spirit, fill me with your love, help me be brave, help me bring peace." Doesn't need to be complicated. One thing you can do to help children if you're wanting to encourage them to spend more time in silence is ask them, how long do you want to sit in silence? Normally they'll give an answer longer than you had planned, and then get them to set a timer and say, "You're in charge. You do the timing and you sit in silence as long as you want to," giving them that power to decide. However, if you've got more active children that like to move about and touch and feel, then actually you might want to use some stations to help them pray with the Spirit. So this is again just a really simple exercise where you can have a station for touching. You could have a fan out, blowing air onto their face. You could have a station for sight. So that could be putting LED candles, or if you're brave, real candles, out and letting them place it in a sand tray, a black cloth, and letting them pray. Something like, "The Holy Spirit, light up the path when I feel lost." Using the sense of hearing, you could use shells or bells or headphones playing soft music to encourage the children to sit quietly and listen for a short moment. Again, praying and asking the Holy Spirit to help them listen for its voice and when others need love. We know that smells is a really important factor, a really important sense for us. So we could put scented cloths or essential oils out. We could put cinnamon on cotton balls. And you could have the children smell these and breathe deeply. And ask the Holy Spirit to bring them peace when they're feeling worried. Again, another exercise they can take home with them to remember the Holy Spirit. And the last one's taken from a mindfulness exercise where you give the children a piece of food, something like a grape or a raisin, making sure that it's cut appropriately for their age, and asking them to slowly eat it one piece at a time, thinking about God's gifts. Could ask the Holy Spirit to fill them with kindness, love, and strength to share. These stations are a good way to keep them up and moving, not just sitting still and listening. The next two bits of resources I want to share, the first one here is a whole lot of resources that the Salvation Army have put together. So there's 2 A4 pages, so do go and have a look at them. And I did love that I noticed right down the bottom on the first page is a link to our Strands website, which is designed and ran by Diana Langdon and Tikanga Pākehā National Children's Facilitator. So do go and check out Strands. The Salvation Army think it's great. So there's a whole lot of ideas here, creative ideas, music, videos, readings, things like that. So do look at that. The last resource I'm going to share is Bible Explorer. Bible Explorer again is run by Dinah Langdon and part of that Strands network, and it's a lectionary based resource website for children's ministry, and it's absolutely brilliant. If you're stuck or you're just wanting some inspiration, go on to Bible Explorer, check out their webpage for whatever Sunday is coming up, Pentecost, the fifth Sunday in Ordinary Time, Trinity Sunday, they've got it all. Check it out, and there's a whole list of readings, prayers, craft activities, videos. It's a one-stop shop. I really recommend it for you. And I'd like to leave you just with a final words of encouragement. The first thing the Spirit does at Pentecost is to help people understand each other through the use of language. And I think that might be our task as well. As children's workers, we're asked to tell the story of God's love in a way that children can understand. And the beautiful thing, or what I find the beautiful thing, is when we do that, we often find the Spirit speaking to us in new ways as well. So thank you for watching this video. I know 15 minutes is a reasonable length video, so thank you for watching it. And do keep an eye out for our next children's Zoom gathering. It will be advertised in our newsletter, and do come along. Whether you've got ideas, or whether you're just new, or whether you just got a passion and a love to spread the gospel to our youngest generation, you are more than welcome.